What is going on, guys? Ryan here with another episode of the Dent Digest live show. Got a pretty unique show this week. I'm kind of excited. It's kind of hard to come back to another show with how epic the show was last week with Benny and the boys from Elite PDR and their unique story. And it's some of those shows are hard to bring another one on. It was such a good show. The good news with that is I'm gonna have a part 2 of that series with those boys and another guest. So I'm gonna bring that up here shortly. We are going to keep rocking and rolling. I got a good friend of mine that's a guest that's coming on this week and go through some of the struggles he's had, and maybe the coronavirus. I mean, look at this. Super stocked up here. I was prepared. So the other thing I want to mention is we are having a giveaway, and the giveaway is going to be on Facebook. I'm going to do another Anson glue giveaway this week. So if you guys want to win, you're going to have to watch. I'm going to tell you how you're going to win, but it is only on Facebook. So if you want to win these, you're going to have to contribute on Facebook instead of YouTube. It looks like the tech meetup was really, really good. It was unfortunately I was unable to make it. I was sick the week before, and I had a brand new experienced tech start this week. So really last week he started on Tuesday or Wednesday, and there was just no way that I could leave. So, but I'm glad I found a tech. I'm super excited. I waited a long time. He's a hell of a guy. And I think we're going to crush it this year. We keep adding on to the team, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. It's going to be exciting. And the other thing I'm excited about is this paddle rundown that I've got going on. I've got paddles all over the place. We're going to do a paddle smash down. So I'm going to do a YouTube video on it, and then it'll go live. So you guys should be able to see it. It should be an amazing. It's been really fun. We started filming it just little bits at a time, so it's been a lot of fun. So I want to introduce my guy in here, Mr. James Brown. Let's bring him on. What's up, James?
Not much. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on? How's the life in the famous world of James Brown?
Man, the classic line. I feel good, man. It's going well.
So I'll give you guys a little rundown. James is a really good friend of mine. He's been patiently waiting to join the RPS team. He's a huge supporter, and he's been through some struggles. He's had a really, really tough road to this point. He's the typical guy that wants to get in the industry and does a little bit of research and goes through all the stuff, and it doesn't really turn out how he likes it. And right now you're a service advisor at Volkswagen.
That's it. Yeah. Daily grind every day.
You're just kind of figuring it out and kind of going through your struggles. So let's get into you a little bit. You went to some training.
And I did.
And what I understand and have seen, it wasn't very good. So how did you looked online? How did you get to the point of the training? We're not going to go into names or anything or where it was, but kind of explain how you did your research and trying to find the trainer you were looking for. And the hardest part is budget. You know what I mean? Because you got Mike Toledo, you got Top Gun, you got a bunch of different things. Jim Mitchell does some training. There's a lot of trainers out there. How did you figure out which way you wanted to go? Was it a price thing? Was it a location thing? Get into that for me.
So I guess, can I start with how I even found out about the PDR industry and kind of go from there?
Yeah, get into it.
All right. So I've been in the dealership atmosphere for probably 7 or 8 years now. And I started getting to handle the used cars. Part of handling the used cars is taking care of the you know, the windshields, the dings, the touch-ups, the wheels, all that stuff. So the dent guy comes, and I've never seen it before. So I go out and I take a look at what he's doing, and you know, he's a typical lot guy, but not knowing anything about it, I thought what he was doing was amazing. So from that point, I started to look into it and try to gain some more information. So with doing that, a couple Google searches, YouTube, come across, of course, Mike Toledo's videos online. And from that point, I was hooked. You know, I had to learn it. I had to know it.
This is so intriguing. And then the same thing, I think there's a lot of guys in here right now that have been through that same thing. You know, it was the same thing with me. I was at CarMax and I saw these guys running around and I'm like, what the hell are these guys doing? Like,
Right.
them, and they're just slowly pushing these dents out. And you're like, man, this is awesome. This is so cool. And then you're like, okay, we watched this for a little while, started doing, you know, when I started, I don't even think YouTube was around, you know. It's a you know, it's a thing. I mean, it was around because I think Toledo was doing videos in the 90s, but it wasn't a big thing, you know. It was just kind of a thing that was there. I just was never a big YouTuber. But keep going into your story. So you looked into this. You were kind of like, man, this is so cool.
It is. You know, I was really intrigued, and I've always been a hands-on kind of person, and to see something ugly like a dent or you know, a regular ding on a car, to see it be able to transform back to what it was prior to damage was amazing. You know, so that's what really got me interested, because I like the aspect of making something ugly look beautiful again.
Of course, of course.
So as far as me determining or choosing where I was going to go to get training or get information on it, I searched around. Pricing wasn't the biggest thing on the list. For me, it was convenience and ease of access to get to it.
Of course, which it's hard to find here on the East Coast. There isn't a whole lot of trainers, you know.
Right. So initially, I had signed up and sent the money out to the Ding King Institute.
Okay.
I don't have any bad things to say about them. I didn't deal with them, but the facility was in South Carolina, which meant getting the hotel, staying down there, and I'd be bringing the family. I do have basically a wife and 2 kids, so we would have all been going down. From the research that I'd done, everyone said having a one-on-one experience would probably be best just coming into this. And I learned that that facility really wasn't about that. You know, they have a whole bunch of people in the same room.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have the one-on-one aspect of it.
Understandable.
So I found someone who was within an acceptable distance, because I traveled every day that I went to train. And the pricing was okay. So I get there, gives me a quick little rundown. He looks at my tools. And
you already purchased some tools and were trying to figure it out on your own before.
Oh yeah. As soon as I seen this guy fixing that stuff, I said, I gotta figure it out. I'm gonna buy tools. I'm gonna buy some chintzy mini lifter, slide hammer, line board.
You got the eBay special, didn't you?
Man, it was Amazon, but same thing. That's just me not knowing any better. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know what? I walk in the shops all the time and I see the dent guy. I mean, not the dent guy, the body guy, and he's got the little gold mini lifter that like from China, and he's got the glue gun. He goes, I'm gonna put you out of business, and I'm like, cool. I'm good with that. Like, you know, no worries.
Yeah. So yeah, I had the gold mini lifter, the little Chinese special. Bought those tools, and I was like, man, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna do some amazing things. I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. So I go to the training the first day. We look at my tools. He has an assortment of tools, and I mean he was really good at what he does. You know, he could glass the dent, and that's what I wanted. So initially, I thought I had made a good decision. First day in, I am cutting glue under hoods to free up the bracing
Hmm.
and pushing out damage that's probably this big.
Too big for a new
Uh,
guy.
oh my gosh, yes. I didn't know what a crown was. I didn't know how to find the tip of the tool. I barely knew how to knock anything down, which I still wasn't doing it right then. So from that point, I got kind of skeptical. But I was like, I'm still gonna come back. I'm still gonna push through it. So I came back for a few more days, and finally Thursday, I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm coming back here tomorrow because it was 3 hours drive
And how much did you
there. Three
spend?
hour. Uh, for that there, it was just about 4,000.
Okay.
Hmm. So I mean, I kind of lost out a little bit on it because I didn't go the last days, but I
Well,
was over it.
and from my experience, when you're checked out of something, you're not going to learn anything anyway. When you don't feel
Right.
engaged, and that's how I felt. And I'll tell you the story how James and I met.
Hmm.
We were down at Dentless Touch's shop. We were having the PDO workshop, and James comes in. He's a little late. One thing you're going to learn about James Brown is always late. Okay. He was only here
That.
early because we've been on for an hour. I was like, it starts at 8 o'clock tonight. He's like, oh, really? I was like, oh, yeah, 8 o'clock. James Brown is always late. So that's just part of his
That is
MO,
not true.
but it's okay. So anyway,
I
he
did
rolls
almost miss
in.
the plane back from Florida.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
So, he rolls in, welcoming in, and we're doing our workshop. And it was about 5 hour workshop. And he drove straight from the beach. He drove like 2.5 hours from event just to be here. So he comes in and, we're asking the guys, we're at the end. Can you do a little tutorial on, how you think this event went? Because we were still trying to figure it out. And he's like, look, I paid $4,000 for some training and I learned more here in 5 hours than I did a week up there. And you could tell. And James and I just kind of kept in touch, started talking, and just became friends. That's what a lot of this is about, is just being friends with guys. And we sat down and talked, and I kind of already had Shane in the hoop. We were already talking. And so, it's see, even Shane says you're going to be late for your own funeral. Look
I
at
see
this.
him.
Look at this.
I see him.
So, James has been around. He's a huge supporter of RPS. Sends us a ton of work. He's just a buddy of mine. And I've been telling him, look, just bear with me. Just bear with me. You were using some dent trainer. You were
Oh
going through
yeah.
some dent trainer, and we've done some training here at my house. And what I learned was he had a year under his belt. So he went to this crappy training. He's been on YouTube. He's been on Dent Trainer. He's been on all this stuff. And I'm sorry, I'm reading the comment here. Where do I get the non-Chinese tools, my beef-eating buddy? It's one of my managers at one of my accounts. So that's how good they're talking about me. But anyway, what I learned was, he's in there, he's practicing at work on wholesale cars, and he's bought more tools, and he's super adamant. Like, you were super ready to learn this trade and figure it out. He was practicing at home. Totally wrong. He came here and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if we can reverse this. You had a year of doing things wrong, looking at the board wrong, the wrong tool, how to push it. It took a little while. For you to finally, you're like, I just don't get this. This is how I know. And I'm like, well, it's wrong.
The most irritating thing about it was because I had the mindset that I was going to master the craft within 2 months.
Yeah.
I am a very hands-on kind of person, and I tackle projects and tasks with no problem. This has been a challenge,
Hmm.
you know?
It is. It's not easy.
No, not at all.
You
I
know, it's funny.
practice.
I had a dent guy. I mean, I keep saying dent guy. I had a body guy today. He was like, "Man, I could pick that up in like 2 weeks." And I said, "You tell me
Yeah.
when you want to sign on the dotted line."
Uh-huh. I'll take that bet.
You know.
Uh-huh.
So keep going on your struggles. You know what you're struggling at home. You're calling me. You're like, "Hey, how are you?" We're explaining that.
Mm-hmm.
You come here. We're training. You and Shane are training. And you're getting pissed because you're like, man, I got a year in and Shane is fixing these dents a little faster. But it's just a bad habit. You had a bunch of bad habits that we had to break. And you
Yep.
did well. You know, you were doing really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard to learn. And the thing
Yeah.
with this job is you're constantly learning. You're constantly trying to better yourself, and you have real life stuff. Like, you have a full-time job, you have a family, and you're trying to sit. I mean, this guy's been in his basement sending me videos of him working.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long road, but at the end of the day, I know that it'll be worth it. Um, I've been in the dealership industry for 8 years, and I mean, I'm just getting burnt out on it, getting beat up by customers all day long because their car is broken, and I'm just the lucky guy that they think fixes the car and charges them a lot of money.
Yeah, but you're good at that. You're good. Your customer service skills are better than most. So that's a key that you have that some of these guys don't have.
Right.
You're dealing with pissed off customers the minute they walk
Oh
in the
yeah.
door that their Volkswagen is broke down, which no wonder your service department's always busy. But
Always popping.
but and the other thing with James that they're lucky with is they're right down the street from a military base.
Yep.
So it's you already have that skill set of customer service, how to handle an upset customer. That's hard to learn.
Oh yeah. It don't come easy.
You
Comes
know.
from getting your butt chewed off a lot of times.
Yes.
Hmm. um, Dang, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
We're talking about the struggles and just trying to
Yeah.
push through that. And the what has been your biggest struggle coming from a bad training experience to where you are now?
I'm my own enemy when it comes to doing this. You know what I mean? It's easy to lose confidence in yourself. But I've come to realize that you only get out of this what you put into it.
Got to put the
I've
time
made
in.
exactly that's where I'm going. I've made excuses in the past why I shouldn't, why I can't train today, why I can't work on cars after work. I've made those excuses, but I mean that's just not the way to do it because I'll never get to where I want to be if I don't keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Well, it's real life stuff, man. I mean, it's you're you're living a life that you're doing the best you can. You know what I mean?
Oh
And,
yeah.
and that's and we were talking about this earlier. James is a big supporter of ours and is going to be on the RPS team. I just can't bring on two techs at the same time. For one, I'm setting him up for failure. I'm setting Shane up for failure and setting myself up for failure. So it's all
Yeah.
steps, and you can tell how passionate you are just because it's been almost 2 years,
2 years, buddy.
you know? And if you
Mhm.
guys were at MT and you got to meet James, I mean, he's a quiet, just kind of chill dude.
I do. I'm always observing. I might not say a whole lot, but I'm just observing, taking it all in. And that's a cool thing too. The MTE. I went last year with you guys, and I went this year too. And man, it's a great time, and I met some great people through that. So I appreciate you having me along.
I mean, let me tell you a story. I'm going to let this story roll right now. So, he's in the room with Shane right next to mine, and we're getting ready to I'm like, look, dude, we're leaving early for the airport. We got to get up early no matter what. So I'm smart. I've been through here. I'm 42 years old. I've been through all of this. And I was like, I just want to get home. I'm
Yeah.
ready to go by then. By Sunday, I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
My stuff's packed the night before. I hop in the shower, roll. I go next door. I'm trying to get James up, and he is getting so pissed. What do you want? Dude is still drunk from the night before. Came in like an hour before we woke him up. So Shane's like, he's not getting up. And I'm like, okay, we out. So I left him at the airport. Tell you what kind of friend
No,
I
you,
am.
you left me at the hotel.
Yeah, yes, I left you at the hotel. So anyway, we left him at the hotel. We get to the airport, and I'm calling this dude like a million times. And Dave Johnson calls me from Dent Wizard because little Ryan was staying with them. And he's like, yo, dude will not get up. And I was like, he's beat. There's no way he's
See ya.
making it. Huh?
I said, see ya.
So we're at the airport. Shane and I are at the airport, and we are sitting here. And I'm like, there's no way dude's making it. There's no way. There's physically no way. So I'm calling this dude, nothing. And we're like, A55. And we look over. Here comes James Brown with a bag of food. And he's like, what's up, fellas? What were you thinking when you woke up?
Oh my God. Look, I don't fly. I don't like planes. For me, I was freaked out. I woke up, no one was there, room is empty. I'm like, what time is it? I look at the phone, I'm like, oh Lord. I have got to get myself together and get out. Made it when I got to the terminal, the plane like was offloading within 5 minutes. I feel like that 15-minute Uber ride was an hour long.
Well, you were close, dude.
I know.
Like, you know, uh, it was,
I
I
know.
felt bad for leaving you, but I was not missing my flight.
No, no, no. I was so worried. I was like, goodness gracious, this ain't cool. I think I was more worried about finding another plane and that plane being a longer trip, which required me to be on the plane longer. That's probably the worst part of that whole deal. Because I don't do planes, you know
So we're going to get back to your story a little bit since we
that.
rammed off. I just wanted to let you guys know James
Yeah,
is
man.
always going to be late.
If you can't,
So,
if anyone here has never been to MTE, do yourself a favor, just go back to your room. Don't party with the dent guys because you'll be out
no.
till 6 in the morning. It's like, no, just kidding. Everybody there is cool, man. It's a good time.
So, what is your biggest struggle right now with pushing dents?
My biggest struggle right now, just having them come out clean. I've got finding my tip down. I'm understanding what the metal is doing. But it's just that last 10 to 15%.
Which is the hardest part,
It's the hardest part.
and a lot of that's picking the right tool, starting the
Mhm.
dent correctly. I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of guys is how they start it. Because if you start
Gotcha.
it wrong, you're fighting those wrong pushes the whole way.
Right.
You know, um,
Hmm.
what do you want out of it? Like, what is your expectations?
My expectations out of this whole thing is just to, be a go-to guy. Um, be the guy that can pretty much fix anything. Um, and provide a good living for my family
Yeah,
and have a good time doing it.
yeah.
Mhm.
You're not getting your butt chewed out every day. Only half the
Nah,
days.
right. And right now I'm just a number, to the organization that I work for. I feel like, coming along with you guys, it's basically like a small family.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it takes time, man. It's not an easy career to start or learn, I think a lot of it's mental. And that's what I would tell you when you would come over and you would have a bad day. And I'm like, dude, you got to just let it go and start over. It's hard to say, but just because you have a person that's so passionate about Paintless and you want to learn it, you want to learn it so bad. You just put everything in it. And you're just kind of like, and you've had a crappy road, and the training is something. You have a lot of opportunities out there now. And I think you need to do your research. You need to look at past techs that have been trained with that person. Where are they now? How their training techniques. Not everybody learns the same way.
Right.
And that's a hard part for trainers. It's a very, very hard, difficult part. It's all in. I keep telling Shane this. It's all about what you put into it.
Yep.
It's all in what you want. You have to almost sit back and say, I'm doing this. I'm going to figure this out. And you work nights and weekends and whatever, even if you're just pushing one dent before you go to bed. Sometimes that's what helps and puts you over the edge, gets you over that hump.
Yeah, the more time you put into the metal, you're going to eventually make your way there. The more time you put in, might not make it quicker, but you're going to learn along the way.
How would you, on your training experience, you felt disappointed?
I was very disappointed.
What advice do you have for guys that are out there that are really trying to, they want to go get trained? What's your advice?
My advice would be, definitely do the research. Set standards for yourself. Call somebody. Because that's one thing I didn't do. Everyone that I've met through this is easily reachable.
Yeah.
And they're willing to answer a lot of questions. Had I done that, I feel like it would have taken me a different direction.
Hey, the good thing with this industry is it's not as hidden as it used to be. I say this all the time. I swear I could go back and I say a lot of the same things, but it's so true. We're so lucky that we have a pretty close-knit industry that guys will just talk. The tech meetup. It looked like Scotto's tech meetup was really good. There was a lot of guys there. The tech meetup in Tennessee, a lot of guys there. That stuff never happened before. It was never a thing that happened. Sharing secrets. Hey, have you used this tool? Have you used that tool? It's super cool. Or even just building relationships. And that's the other thing with MTE is getting out there and mingling and getting to know guys. And you're building a lifeline,
Yeah.
There's guys that I talk to every day that go through the same struggles, tell the same stories together. We just chat and go through all that stuff. There's a lot of new things out there too. There's the IMI training certification, the ARC certifications. There's a lot of stuff out there that you can better yourself in the industry. And so you've got to apply yourself.
Absolutely.
And it's tough being a new tech. Trying to get in here because you see the money we make and the tools. I mean, some of these tools are great looking. They're amazing tools.
Yeah.
But it's the struggle on you think you can pick up this tool and just figure it out. I can do that.
Yep.
I see Mike doing that on the YouTube video. I can do that.
Make it look so easy.
And put a tool in your hand and what happens?
Man, you just make the dent different. You know what I mean?
You make it look different. You're right.
Yeah. At least that was me. I wasn't blessed with the golden arm and pushing ability.
Hey, none of us are. We all have to learn this,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was just talking about ARC and Mr. David Haxton is on here. And let me tell you, if you want an open book and you want to run something through it, that man right there will answer any question that you can have. He's a huge lifeline, just a great guy. Thank you for what you do, Dave. Certainly with the ARC certifications and all that stuff that you guys are trying to do for the industry. So thank you. I wanted to, give him a little shout out up here. But, like Matt Phones is saying right here, he says the truth is completely transparent these days. The world's different from 10 years ago. Oh my gosh. I remember being hidden in the back of the parking lot, just hiding, it's just so nice now. It's so cool. So open phone calls, messages on Facebook. We're very lucky. Just like Brian saying here, he goes, look at this. Brian's on here, Mr. Mark Blem. That's Mr. Mark Blem's twin. So that's a whole nother story. Nice. What's up, Brian? But like Brian's saying, right before you get it, you'll probably want to give up, and you'll probably want to give up 10 times before you get it.
Oh yeah.
There's days that I want to give up on a dent. I had a dent yesterday, 5 hours on a fender. I wanted to give up on that thing 10 times, so it's a constant struggle, and I've been doing this a long time. Mm-hmm. So, we're very lucky to have the support system that we have. Yeah. So as you guys see, I got my stock up here. These will be up for auction on Facebook, so keep your eyes open.
Them things are going for like $100 a piece.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Hot commodity.
It is crazy. So we're going to get into that a little bit. We're going to get into the coronavirus. It's pretty crazy, how Maryland is just about almost shut down here. They officially closed all of our schools. All the events throughout everything is closed. It's pretty crazy things. And one thing and I'll be honest with you, I can't take credit for this. I had Vincent Rios reach out to me 2 weeks ago. He's in Puerto Rico, and said, "Hey Ryan," he always chimes in. He's been a watcher. He's been watching me for a lot of years, and we've been in contact for a lot of years. And he was like, "Hey, heads up, stock up on your 91% alcohol because we have none here." And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
So that next day we went out, can't find any at CVS, can't find any at Walgreens, can't find any at Rite Aid. So I look online, and it's like a 30-minute ride from us north. And I was like, "Shane, you're going to go to Walmart. You're going to buy everything they have on the shelf." So he walks in there, just clears it out, puts it in a cart, and he's trucking through. And he's like, "Man, you wouldn't believe what people were looking at me and saying, 'What do you need all that for?'" He's like, "Work." Right now they're saying, "I got this guy." Now they're like, we figured this guy out, So it's pretty scary. A lot of my shops are preparing. I've noticed today I was in one of my bigger dealers, like body shop, and there was hand dispensers for like antibacterial hand sensors everywhere. I mean, there's like 15 in this shop, and I was like, we're a little late. Like, I mean, the flu season's been going on. Like, where have these things been now?
Yep.
I've seen all over Facebook, guys can't get it. I had little Ryan. I was talking to little Ryan. He's a Dent Wizard guy. Yep. And he's like, "Man, I got to find some." And I'm like, "Look, if you need some, I've got some." He's a local guy here. You don't think about that.
No.
You just physically don't say, "Man, I need this alcohol to do my job."
Yeah.
But you do.
No one would have thought we're going to run out of that stuff.
No. Toilet paper? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a crazy world right now. A lot of scary things going on, and it's going to affect all of us. It's going to affect retail because people aren't working. It's going to affect the body shops because people aren't driving. How many people are going to have to stay? They just, Monday on, schools are closed for 2 weeks here. All of the schools, every college, every public school is closed here. people can't work. Body shops are going to be slow.
Yeah. State staff too.
Yeah.
Unless you're essential personnel. So, I mean, there's a lot of people off the road now.
So it's going to affect all of us. It's going to affect the retail market. I'm a little scared on that end, but it's like anything, you're going to have to weather it. It's going to take a couple months for it to come back. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you're in the service. Have you seen a change in the last,
Yeah, this week has been exponentially slower than the prior weeks coming up to now. I feel like right now we're averaging 12 to 16 cars, and I feel like typical days is at least 25 and up. So what's that? 20% drop or so?
I don't know, man. I mean, it definitely, Adam saying body shops are slow. It's the same, man. It's so crazy how slow the body shops are. I mean, I was in one of my bigger, and there's 11 body guys in there.
Mm-hmm.
I was fixing a car, and one other guy was fixing a car. It's scary. I mean, it's Now, I spoke to a friend of mine that's a big wig for Travelers, and he said he's down like 37% in claims.
Just like Adam said, though, here in our area, we didn't get no snow.
Yeah.
None.
Ice. I usually make good money on the ice, to where the cars are covered in ice and they're beating the hoods and beating the roofs with the ice scraper, and we didn't get that, No,
nothing. That was odd too. So I'm sure that's throwing a loop for you guys that are out there every day doing it. At least in our area, because I'm sure that's a pretty good time of year for you guys.
Yeah. And winter's always slower, but I just feel like now it's tax time. Spring is starting to break. Today it was 60 degrees or whatever, but we get the coronavirus.
Right.
So it's going to change everything. Hopefully you guys stay safe. Make sure you wash your hands and
absolutely.
And it's in our thing, my wife's in the medical field, and we're in the dirtiest things you can get in. We might as well work in a porta pot, because we're touching the dirty window switches to roll the windows down, steering wheels, and keys.
Yep.
Driver door handles. You're on everything that they're touching on the daily.
Mm-hmm.
So, make sure you guys are being safe out there, wiping your hands. I know you're trying to save your 91% alcohol for glue, but, it's bad out there. I do want to mention again, while you guys are on here, we are doing a Facebook giveaway, some ants and glue, maybe some other goodies in there. How you're going to win? You're going to comment James Brown on Facebook, and Mr. James Brown is going to pick a number, and we're going to pick one of these guys for a winner tonight. But we're not starting that until 9:45, and we're going to cut it off at 10. So 9:45, we're going to start it. I'm going to put on there contest started, or I'm going to put a line that says Dent Digest, and from there down, that's how you're going to win. You've got to comment James Brown to win from 9:45 to 10 o'clock.
Comment.
So James Freeman is saying they're slow in Cali too, and so did Big Ant. Said the traffic's very light. It's on your. Is it scary for you, because you're trying to get in the industry and you've been hanging out for 2 years, waiting for me? I mean, how do you feel about that? Is it super uncomfortable? Is it, what are you feeling on that factor?
I mean, I feel like it's just like anything else. It's going to come and pass. That's my feeling on it. It doesn't affect my decision to still want to do this, especially with you as part of my team. You know what I mean? Because I know that you'll get it figured out and get us heading in the right direction. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not worried about it at all.
Yeah.
I feel like it's short-lived. At least I hope so. It's rapidly evolving and changing, at least here in our area where we are. I know
It
that.
is. It is. What advice do you guys? What advice do you have if you're a struggling tech where you are right now? That give someone that's in your same, same situation. What's helped you kind of stay motivated to keep doing it?
Uh, Look for the small victories along the way. That's probably the biggest thing. Um, don't don't fret on the unsuccesses. Take the successes that you have, no matter how small it is,
Yeah.
and just keep adding on to it. And eventually, you'll get to the end and you'll see the light. I haven't made it there yet, but I know, but I know that I will. And just patience. You know what I mean? Patience. Take the little victories and add them all together, and put the time in. That's really what it comes down to.
What tools have you bought that have been a direct impact?
Um,
And I told
I
James
like.
last year, I said, don't buy any tools. Don't buy anything. Just wait. Just wait. You
Mhm,
bought some stuff this year,
I did. I
but
did.
what, tell me what is your
I like
direct
my.
impact on
I like
tools that has helped you grow?
my sharp tools.
Okay.
I have the Zircus rods from Finesse,
Yeah.
and having that sharp tip. And one thing that I did from the beginning is I thought I would be the bee's knees. I started working on an aluminum hood.
I
The
remember he
first,
was
the first,
practicing on
the
aluminum hood.
no, sorry. The very first thing that I did was watch one of Daniel Grimes' videos. I got a Harley tank from 1975 and tried that,
How'd
and
that go?
I made a. Oh my gosh, man! I feel like I poked right through the tank. It was bad. It was so bad.
Did you
So
save it?
then, no, I trashed it. I should have saved it.
You should have
I
brought it
should have
on the
saved
show.
it.
That would have been great.
I know. I definitely trashed it. It was all rusted out inside. I paid $25 for it. I drove to the city to buy it.
You
Like
bought it from
I was,
Baltimore City.
yes, I did.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
I did. Oh yeah, we were down on the west side too. So
So he was
yeah, I
he
was
was
in.
he was
I wanted
practicing
the
on
hardest
aluminum hood.
thing.
Aluminum hood.
Yeah,
That was his thought process was, let me start on the
with the harder
hardest
stuff.
thing and
Hmm.
see if we can move forward. And I was like, no, 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 no. Let me tell you, you're
Yeah.
struggling already.
Hmm.
We're not doing that. We're going to
No.
we're going to just baby steps. Let's start this over.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So you think the
So
Zircus rods were a
I
tool that
like
you
the
bought?
Zerk. Yeah, I love the sharp tools. Um, I like those. I like the VIP knockdown. I also
Yeah,
like the white Delrin. Um, I think you had me working with the white Delrin and I think the root beer.
yeah.
Um, all three totally different from one another.
Matt's phone saying that
I
tank is
see
stolen.
that. It may have been. I paid $25 for it. It had a nice American Eagle uh, uh, gas tank cap on it. I was sold right there.
So you got the Zircus
But
rod,
yeah,
and you did buy a cool product at MT that I didn't even get.
I know.
Look
I'm
at him. He's
happy.
like,
I
I
enjoy
know.
it.
He's like all happy about it.
I had enough cash on me
I know.
at the time,
Well,
so I was like, why not?
we'll see. I would have had cash too, but somebody left it at home.
Wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you.
Wasn't me.
So
Um, got the Galexo Hail Kit. So I'm nowhere near the point for mastering that. I used it on my car, which you helped me with. Had a couple dents on it. The the regular kit, but that stuff's cool. It's nice. I've seen
is.
it work. I've played with it, and I just at that point I figured I need to invest in myself a little more as far as tools as well.
Yeah.
So that Glexo Hail kit is really, really nice. Comes with the two different glues on it, one for warmer temperatures, one for colder temperatures, which I guess
Mhm.
they didn't have before. So it gives you a little variation on what you can use it in different situations.
And
Different tabs too.
I'll tell you, I've been using a really thin bit of Glexco on a
Hmm.
standard tab. So a standard quarter tab,
Hmm.
very same type of setup you have. And I've
Hmm.
been using that more and more on damage. I've been just straight
Hmm.
cold gluing it real quick. I mean, I did a transit van middle section underneath the windows. I did the whole thing
Yeah,
with Glexo. Boop, boop,
it's
boop,
amazing
boop. It's
product.
amazing. And I've been a
Yep.
cold glow. I mean, if you guys go back 2 years ago, I was telling Chris and Dave, cold glue, man. I'm telling you, cold glue. And they were
Uh-huh.
like, no, that stuff is crap. That stuff is crap. What's going on now?
Yeah, if you ask them now, I think they're sold on it.
It's a great product. And the
Yeah.
Glexco stuff is so sticky.
Yeah.
And I met those guys this year, Olga and her husband, and it's a great product. I mean, it really is a good product. I haven't tried. I did see some guys were trying the Cars Formers stuff. I have not tried that.
Hmm.
Um,
No.
but whatever is in that stuff is just so sticky. I come home and sometimes it's all on my fingers, and
Oh yeah.
I can't get it off. It just does what it needs to do. So we are going to start. We are going to start right now. Comment on my Facebook here. And I am going to start the contest as we speak. Go ahead and comment James Brown, and we are going to pick a winner from the Dent Digest thing on from now. So you have to go on Facebook, my Facebook page, the Ryan Shutt Facebook page. Comment, you'll see Dent Digest with a bunch of slashes, and comment James Brown. So we are going to get into something else. So I bought these at MTE, and they've been around for a while. I really am enjoying this tip. It is the swivel tip by Hayes. Kiko is making them. Fits right on an
Hmm.
R4. I just enjoy it. It just works. I've been using the rectangle with the edge pliers. Works really, really well. They come in a whole bag of different sizes. It's like $70. But it just seemed, and this was Daniel Grom's idea. Daniel Grom's idea was use it on door edges on the edge pliers because it's got that
He's
rectangle.
he's
So
got a lot of good ideas.
he does. He does.
And those go on a R4.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's been a couple other things I've been using that I've really enjoyed. I did find something that works just as good as 91% alcohol to take glue off. Craig from Anson, TX whiskey.
Wow.
So this stuff works amazing. If you run out of glue, use a TX whiskey.
I think you're supposed to drink that.
It's taking the glue off, dude. The other thing
Yeah.
that is out there that I really, really enjoyed the last probably month or two, right before, I guess, January, I got it. This trifecta glue gun. This one is still in the pack
Hmm.
because it's going to be a giveaway. This is going to be a giveaway glue gun. So make sure you guys keep tuning in. I'm going to surprise somebody. Maybe episode 50. I don't know. We're gonna.
Can I get in on that?
Hey, you're a viewer. You've been here since day one. But let me tell you about this glue gun. The control, the temperature, how fast it gets hot, and just I like how you can adjust the handle. Because I got these little hands. Me and Hudson have this problem with these little hands. I mean, his are a little smaller than mine, but this glue gun is amazing. Totally worth the money. It's got the adapter for whatever battery it takes Ryobi right now. it's a fabulous, fabulous glue gun. So if you're in the market for a glue gun, just buy this thing. Anson, TDN, and Eliminate sell it. It's a great glue gun, but it's going to be a giveaway. So make sure you guys tune in. Not saying episode 50, but it's going to be a giveaway, you know. Episode 50. Can you believe that? It's so crazy.
50. I know.
So, you know, I'm going to do a little shameless plug for myself. The Shut
All
Ups were sold out all over the place out of Blem, and I don't know if TDN has any more or not. I'm not sure. So thanks, guys, whoever bought those. I really appreciate it. Super cool. They just work, you know. It took me a year, and I just did it because I wanted a set. I didn't do it because I wanted to make a tool, and I'm nowhere near a tool manufacturer or designer. I just wanted a tool that I wanted. So the other thing that I've got just recently, and I brought them on the show last week, were the Endeavor tips, and I'm gonna tell you guys something. I'm kind of upset. I'm upset because I love the Crown Jewel. It's an amazing hammer, and I talked about it forever, and I've used it in videos, and I use it almost every day. But unfortunately, the Crown Jewel has been replaced.
Ooh.
So the Crown Jewel has been replaced by his new hammer, his new blending hammer, which has a smaller head, and his tips. So I run the larger tip and the smaller tip on there. And I talked to him this week, and something about the weight feels different. It's the same length, same shaft thickness, but something about it is just different. And I told him, and I said, I'm ashamed of myself. And he's like, what's that? And I said, I've been giving this hammer love for 2 years because I hated it so much when it first came out because I hated on it. And I'm replacing it. And he's like, what do you mean? And I said, I'm using your new hammer with the tips. He's like, it's different, isn't it? And I said, yes, it's different, dude. It's just something about the weight is right. It's a fabulous hammer. I'm so glad that I bought it at MTE. Like I needed another hammer, but Chad's my buddy. But let me tell you, it's not because he's literally my friend. It's a fabulous tool. I do a ton of large damage and smashes. If you have a lot of crowns that you do and all that stuff, buy the new hammer over the Crown Jewel. I was like, you just put the Crown Jewel out of business. And he's like, no,
Commission.
it's still got its use, you know, it's still got its use. And I'm like, dude, you just did it to yourself. So, you know, it's some of the technology out here in these tools. It's amazing. You know, I don't know. It's the new, I've been using the crease killer that I got from MTE. It's a great tool. I never used the centipede tabs before, and I don't know why. I'm old school, you know. Look at that. Matt Phone loves the tips too. What was your take on the tool innovation at MTE?
Tool innovation?
Yes.
It's overwhelming. The amount of tools that are out there for the industry. You showed me the tool that you had to learn with, that you had to make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
B214.
Man.
It was like fixing a dent. It was fixing a dent with this. Let me fix this dent with this handle.
Yeah. So seeing that and then going to the show and seeing all the cool stuff that's there, I mean, it's amazing. There's literally a tool for just when you think there's a tool for everything, someone comes out with something else that is amazing. You know what I mean? So when I go, last year I didn't buy anything. You're like, just wait, let's, check out some stuff.
You bought some glue tabs or something, didn't you?
I did. I bought the dead centers, which are awesome. Yep. Bought the dead centers last year, but out of the whole show, that was it. So there's really something there for everybody. And you can literally reinvent the wheel with these tools. because all someone has to do is put a little spin on it, and you're like, man, why didn't we have this 10 years ago,
Yes.
or last year even? So I think it's really cool that the minds come together between you guys and certain tool companies, and you make a product that works.
I mean, look at James
So,
Lee. He was a dent guy.
yeah.
He's got some badass. I use the James Lee light every day.
Yeah, that's what I bought.
You know,
100%.
I
That
mean,
was my first big purchase.
he's
The
a
James Lee light.
he was a dent guy. You know, he's lucky enough to where he doesn't have to do it, and he can run a tool business now. You know,
Yeah.
but any of these guys, I mean, Vinny with the Magnatech mat, he's a dent guy. They came
Right.
out with a product, which, by the way, guys, is an amazing tool. I use it in more instances than I should. If you don't have one, it's very cost effective. He's got some cool colors now. Great tool. You know, what tools right now are you in the market for?
Right now, I need, oddly enough, I feel like I need a new hammer.
Come on, really? Like a
Uh-huh.
blending
I feel like I
hammer
need
or
a new,
like a knockdown hammer?
both. I
Okay.
haven't ventured into the blending area, but I feel like it would be nice to have to mess with it and just see the difference compared to just traditional knockdown and cleanup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you,
hammers.
I've been running the Carbon Tech Daniel Grom hammer
Mhm.
with an Endeavor
It's a nice unit.
tip on the other side instead of
Mhm.
his, and I actually shortened it. I'm a knockdown
Oh
hammer
yeah.
guy, and I whacked the
Mhm.
carbon off, took the insert out of it, re-glued the insert in, so it's a little shorter because I got these little hands. But it works great. It's a great hammer. You know, when I first told Daniel, he's like, "You're using it for what?" I'm like, "For knockdown." He goes, "You're using that polished head for knockdown?" I said, "Yep."
Yeah.
You know, what else are you in the market for?
Yeah. Uh, One tool that I forgot that uh, really has changed things for me, and it's probably my favorite pickup from this year. And I know I'm late on it, but it's the Willie Quick uh, hood and latch hammer,
Yes, yes,
the big one. I
yes.
love that thing. That thing's really cool. Sturdy, stout. You can use it on the doors, on the hoods, trunk. Um, the the team there was really cool too, because I bought the gravy can with the straps, and then he gave me the magnetic spray bottle, which
Oh
is
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that
So
gravy can, I'll
that
explain to those guys, was a great idea. So if you get a
yeah.
Jeep or a Cherokee that doesn't have a hood prop, or you just get a car that doesn't have the latch part in the center of it, you know what I mean? Some of those Jeeps you can't latch with the hood prop with the Willys Quick. So what it is it's a rubber end that goes on here, a rubber end that goes on here, and it gave you a ratchet strap so you could use it like a standard old hood prop. And I was like, that's such a great
Hmm.
idea.
Yep.
Such a great idea. You know, that tool is awesome. I have both. I have the prop and lock. I have the Willys Quick, and the Willys Quick right now is just my go-to.
Yeah.
It's a
I
great
love that
tool.
thing. Yeah.
What else?
Um, Other things I'm looking for. I need some different door tools because
Okay.
I'm always going to the Finesse 245. But I feel like I need some variables for issues when I run into bracing and so forth.
Look at that. He's amazed that dent guys aren't using blending hammers.
I see that.
That's
It
me,
says it's a
Matt
cheat
Phones.
code.
But let me tell you, I will blend up against anybody with a blending hammer and a VIP knockdown and a hammer. So,
The challenge.
contest is
Um,
over. Contest is over, guys. So, I'm going to let you talk about some more tools. I'm going to count up who is the winner of this giveaway.
All right.
So
Do I get to pick a number or something?
Yeah. Let me count. I'll tell you what the numbers are, and then we'll.
All right.
It's all on James Brown. It's on him now. So we got a lot of them here. So I hope you're ready. So go ahead and what else you got? What else is in the arsenal for your purchases?
So I got a set of CarePoint wire tools with a ratchet handle, which are really nice. I didn't have any wire tools until I got those. The Stop by Ultra. I got the what is it, three-quarter inch whale tails. I got that. Stickers. You can't leave MTE without stickers because they are everywhere. James Lee light. That was my first big purchase. Was
Okay.
that James Lee light, and it was awesome because he reached out personally and thanked me for the business, which was really cool.
Michael's saying the Blem flat shave set is perfect for side panels, and it really is. I'm in love, and I may be a little biased because I work with Blem a little bit, but their ratcheting handle I think is my favorite. Just the comfort of
Nice.
it. I mean, Ultra's got a great one too. I was a big finesse guy, but they just kept wearing out, and I just wasn't happy with it. And then I started using the Blem, and I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Lee? So the magic number is 23. So we're going to let you pick in between 1 and 23 to win this Anson PDR glue giveaway. A couple packs of glue and maybe some other goodies in there. So what's the number?
All right. Let's go with 11. I like 11.
All righty. So keep going on your tools, your future purchases here.
Future purchases far down the road. I definitely need to get a hair light. At least that's a hope. I like that Carbon Tech hood stand. I have the standard A1.
Let me tell you how nice that hood stand is.
I've seen it.
It's
but
and I didn't believe it. Hold on one second. I did not believe.
Right.
Chad was like, man, I've wanted it for 2 years, and I was like, man, I just can't get over spending $1,100-$1,200 on that. I don't do enough hail, and he's like, bro, I'm telling you right now, you have got to buy it. Taking doors off is just a breeze. It folds up nice in my truck. I don't know why it took me so long.
Yeah. It's a nice setup.
It is. Well,
so I definitely want to upgrade my hood stand, and that would be the one.
The winner of this Anson giveaway is Mr. Reed. Reed is the winner. Congrats, Reed. So make sure you message me your address, your contact information, Reed. And Reed's a super cool dude. He's super quiet. I think I met him in Anson, either Anson or MT. Just a quiet guy, kind of like a James Brown.
Yeah.
You know. So make sure you message me. Congrats, Reed. I'm glad you can get one of these winnings. He's been watching for a while, so it's good to see. I'm lucky that I've got some companies that support me that send some stuff that I can give away, kind of give back to you guys. So, but look, bro, I feel your struggles. You know, I'm super lucky to have you in my corner and stand behind me and trust that everything's going to work out. And I enjoy watching you slowly grow and you know, you're going to get there. You're going to get there to where you can crush it and make it happen. You know, your drive is what does it. And, you know, there's no doubt about it. You know, I appreciate it.
I certainly appreciate everything.
I appreciate everybody watching, you know.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have Ray on. He had a family obligation that he forgot about. And if you guys get a chance, make sure you congratulate Ray. He just did open up a retail facility. He just signed the lease last week. And he called me this week and he's like, dude, I totally forgot about this thing. And I was like, look, dude, I got a list of people. We're good. We're good. So he's going to be on next week. I got a pretty stout lineup. So it should be some good shows. I'm excited for the part 2 of Benny and James Lee.
Me too, man.
That's
Awesome.
going to be an epic show. So I'm excited for that. But remember, guys, keep your hands clean. Stock up on toilet paper. 91% alcohol. Thank you very much for watching. If you guys can, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Got some new stuff coming out. We're going to do some other giveaways that aren't on the live stream. And keep watching. Keep interacting. I really appreciate it. Remember, guys, keep it real. And I'll see you on the next one. See you guys next week.
See ya.